Here I am, back again. The other day I put a video up talking about this last year being one of the worst of my life, and how a lot of video creators out there like to go after me and attack everything I do or say because of what my opinions are, but specifically how my opinions are about a guy named Jeremy Hales. And as soon as it was published, it was immediately attacked. It seems like the media out there just, I don't know, they seem to have a problem with anybody they disagree with. And they're fairly vicious in their attacks as far as, you know, verbally. I can't say that I was physically attacked by any sense of the word. But social attacks can cut just as deep as any knife, as most of you know. And we live in a society where the keyboard seems to be the weapon of choice. And those very keyboards out there that these creators sit behind are what they use to attack me on a regular basis. Now, I'm on vacation, and it's the last one I'll probably ever get to take. I'm up there in age. Physically, I can tell you, I'm pretty well wore out. I don't have that much time left. And my daughter and I are trying to take the last vacation we may ever have together. And they can't help but speculate, make fun of it, ask stupid questions. It's weird. You know, at my age, I've seen most everything. And I thought I'd show my daughter a few things that she might be interested in. And she is. And my son-in-law is going to come down for the last part of our vacation and live it up a little bit with us, have some fun, see some things that he may not have seen, and he's also going to help us drive. You know, I thought it'd be a ideal time and to do some things that I had never done before. And I'm doing my very best to do just that. And these people seem to be doing their very best to make it as miserable as they can for me in my last days. I'm lucky to be alive at this point. I realize that. It's not that I really want to be here. You see, when I lost my wife, I was ready to step right out with her. If I could have left at the same moment, I would have. These last few months, or whatever I have left, maybe a year, I don't know. I hope I can live it in somewhat happiness. I hope it's all worth it. I have a fairly extensive family, grandkids, great grandkids, and friends, a lot of friends. The people who have known me all my life don't seem to have a problem with me. It's only the people that have seen me online in the last, I'd say, year or 2 years that seem to have a problem, all because I stuck up for a family that was having problems. One of the people that seems to give me a bad time said, a woman, by the way, said that I should know better than to mess with a millionaire. You see, I'm not rich. The only thing I ever asked from the Lord was enough to let me make enough so that my wife and I would have food on the table and a roof over our head. And He has provided the path and the work so that I could do that. I never asked to be a millionaire. I guess it'd be nice to have plenty of money so you never had to worry about tomorrow or the next day. Actually, all I really worry about is pleasing the Lord in my last days so that I might participate in the eternal life. That's what I believe in and what I've been working towards. A lot of people say I don't practice what I preach, and I guess a portion of that could be true. And the reason being, I'm not a preacher. I'm not trained in the Lord's words. I chose a different path. Not that I didn't follow the Lord, but I didn't choose a path to preach about the world or the Lord. I just didn't have the calling, and I still don't. I do wish to see my wife again. I thank the Lord on a regular basis for the life we had. I thank Him for the fact that my daughter decided to help me in my last wishes here on earth, of my last hurrah of a vacation. That's what it is. It's a vacation. I chose to meet some of the friends I corresponded with in the last 2 years, just that I wanted to see them. And even that has been made fun of. You see, people have an opinion of what we should do or what they want us to do or who we're around. And people that need the most help seem to be the most grateful, but the people that don't need help, that don't have empathy, don't want you to out there helping anybody else either. Don't know why. The other day when I seen that one group making fun of the people living on the street that were having trouble with drugs in their life and who knows what else, they look like zombies out there. These people are making a lot of fun of them. People can't help it when they're in the throes of a drug addiction or alcohol or mental illnesses. I pray for people like that. I don't cuss at them. I don't kick them in the gutter. I do avoid a lot of them simply because when they're in the throes of a drug addiction, they don't know what they're doing. Trying to help them. You can't at that point. All you can do is pray for them, and I do that for society and people around the world. There's cities like this, everybody. All the large cities here in the U.S. have that problem. I don't know what drives people to make fun of others with that and make a living out of it. These people do. No matter what you do, if you do things like what I'm doing right now, where I explain what my life has been like or what I'm wishing to do, they find reason to find fault with it. Sometimes it makes it hard. Makes you wonder, is it worth it all? You know, Christ faced a lot of those same problems and was able to get through it. But I'm not Christ. It makes it hard on a simple person. I am nothing special on this earth. I was a husband and father, grandfather, great-grandfather, I love my grandparents when I was young. Of my parents. And I thought and hoped that my life would be similar to theirs. But I found out for some reason the society isn't as nice as the one I grew up in. I don't know if this is the last days before the second coming of Christ or not. Could be. And maybe that's what's needed to turn things around. I'm pretty sure it won't be turned around before I've walked my last mile. And I smile about it because I am looking forward to what's next. And I am enjoying this vacation I'm on. I'm trying not to let things bother me. And I hope I'm providing memories for my family through this trip I'm on. And it's not over yet because I do have plans for the balance of this summer. I sold a motorhome a few years ago that would have made this trip a piece of cake. It was a lot bigger than this little trailer, just a little. But this trailer didn't cost much, and it was easy to pull with a pickup truck. And I'm getting up there in age where I knew that the big motorhome was going to be a problem if I drove it around. And when my daughter stepped up and said, boy, she wished she could do something like that, I took her at her word and asked her to join me, and her family agreed that it would be okay. And that's what she's doing. And part of it is that my son-in-law is going to help me make this dream come true as well. And the plans I have in the rest of my summer, they're pretty much involved in. And I don't know what else to say. I'm extremely pleased that I can do it. I couldn't have without help. Today happens to be a day where physically I would have a hard time walking 20 feet. I have good days and bad days. And I realize there's people out there that rejoice in the fact that I do have those bad days. And I'm sorry for their souls, and I'll pray for them as much as I can. There's nothing I can do right now about their heart. Only the good Lord can change that for them. I would hope that someday they can see the world a little better, see it like I do. Just because a millionaire wants something some way don't mean that it's the right way. And people seem to love gold more than they do the Lord. For them, I'm truly sorry. Or if you don't ask forgiveness from the Lord, you're not going to know what it's like to have eternal life. I don't know what else I can say. I'm doing the very best in this world that I can. My wife's not here to assist me and guide me through this or be assistance through this world, the complex maze that stands before us. The older we get, the faster it moves. One of my favorite things is sit out in the back porch and look out and see those beautiful trees out there and the wonderful neighbors around there. You know, one thing I can say, I've been down here for a few weeks, and I met a tremendous amount of people that are wonderful to be around, including the people that own this ground here. It's a beautiful resort. And I've been treated like a king. Not one person down here that I've met has treated me bad. And I thank the Lord for that, for He's certainly guided my path down here and gave me the privilege of having my last wish. My next wish will be after I've completed everything, that I'm able to see my wife again. If it wasn't for family, this trip wouldn't be worth making. You know, they make fun of my family. They even mention about visiting my family's old bits. These people, these creators on keyboard creators, think it's funny. My family that those obits talk about, they're in a better place. And it won't bother them what's being said about them at this point. It only bothers those that are living, giving us something to feel bad about. You know, my parents taught me a lot over the years. The one thing they did teach me was respect for my elders, respect for those that have gone before us, respect for those that have provided for us, told us about their lives. The bullies of this world, I don't know why there's so many of them and why so many gather on something like this. A medium, this medium could be used for so much good. And yet there's those who choose to harm everything around them. Well, with this, I'm going to let this go for today. I'll try to come back with another one. I just wanted to give you some thoughts and how happy I am that I am able to do this. Like I say, this is my last hurrah. It's very doubtful that there'll be another summer like this one. And I thank you for listening to my little bit on here. I do have a love for my fellow man, if you will. People will take that the wrong way too, I'm sure. Or else they'll just twist it to make it fit their own agenda, I'm sure. There are many out there, though, that follow my channel, and just like this vacation so far, it has been a wonder. I can't believe how good things can be. You know, this sunny state of Florida, and going out and finding places out there where we actually purchased food along the road and brought it home, fresh fruits, seafood. So friendly people. We ate in a restaurant a few days ago, north of here quite a ways. And people bent over backwards to make everything just perfect. And the food was superb. It was just my daughter and I. And then, not too far from here, we sat in a restaurant, and same thing, just overwhelming. And the sunshine actually is in the people inside the restaurant, regardless of what's outside. It's been a privilege being down here in Florida, and I sure thank them for such a state. We had good luck on the way down with everybody we met. Help came at the right time when we needed a place to stay, a place to set our travel trailer. It worked out just fine. The Lord seemed to show us the right path at every moment. if I have any advice to all of you, I'd say, don't forget the Lord. Pray and thank for everything that happens in your life. I hope you have a life that's been as fruitful as mine. I certainly can't gripe at this stage in my life. The rough times kind of fall away, and then you can get them out of your memory. They're not important. The closer you get to the Lord, you realize how important it is to please the Lord and live a path that He finds acceptable. With that, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a good Monday. Mine has been pretty good. Just got done with supper a little bit ago. I can't think of anything else. But here's to you. You have a good evening. I'll be back. I'll try to keep it as good as I can. My thoughts at the time, I'll try to let you in on. Please have a blessed day.